Welcome to this overview of the book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani, which is subtitled 10 Unconventional Laws to Redefine Your Life and Succeed on Your Own Terms. The basis of the 10 laws Vishen shares is that there is an invisible code as to how the world operates, and we can all use this information to program ourselves and the world around us to improve and enhance the way we live and the things we experience. Or to put it more simply, we can use these things to live an extraordinary life. The first law of living an extraordinary life is transcend your culturescape by consciously choosing the beliefs, rules, ideas, and practices you will follow. The culturescape, therefore, is what we are surrounded by and often have become blind to, both that they exist and the influence they have on the judgments and choices we make. A clue to some of the beliefs, rules, ideas, and practices you are surrounded by but don't necessarily agree with can be seen in the things you preface with, "I should," which leads us into Law 2 for living an extraordinary life. Question the rules that are out of alignment with your dreams and desires. Recognize that a lot of how the world operates is just because few people are questioning if there is a better way. Rules is the name Vishen gives to bullshit rules that have been passed on from generation to generation. These rules may relate to areas such as education, religion, work, sex, marriage, family, politics, and money, as well as what constitutes success, etc. From an evolutionary perspective, passing these rules of living from one generation to another is an efficient way to prevent us from having to literally reinvent the wheel. But what if there is no solid evidence of how this rule is benefiting us? Breaking away from the rules of the culturescape may be very scary, but to live an extraordinary life, we need to question our beliefs and the rules, ideas, and practices we are surrounded by. To do this, ask yourself, as a child, what was I told was the right thing to do and the right way to do it? Growing up, what ideas did I form about my family and myself? What do I dislike about my life? And what stops me from doing what I really want to do? The third law of living an extraordinary life is therefore understanding that growth depends on your models of reality and your systems for living, as well as remembering it is important to regularly review these and upgrade them. Vishen highlights that we readily accept we need to upgrade our computer's operating system, but few people consider this as just as important for how we live. He shares upgrading our consciousness comes down to two things. The first is changing the equivalent of our computer hardware by digging into our models of reality, what we accept as true, and deciding what we want to let go of and what we want to reframe in a new positive way, because these things influence what we experience day in and day out. The second is changing the equivalent of our computer software by reviewing our habits. This is things like what, how, and when do I eat, sleep, work, deal with money, etc., and the story you tell yourself as to why you make these choices. Law 4 of living an extraordinary life is to choose models of reality that make us feel good about ourselves and are powerful in shifting us onto the path of what we really want, because anything that disempowers us is just a rule we have accepted as true. Vishen breaks Law 4 into 3 lessons. Lesson 1 is, our models of reality lie below the surface. Often we are not aware of them until something triggers us and they come to the fore. The example Vishen uses is when it was pointed out to him, despite his successes, he had low self-esteem, and he finally saw the pattern that he did not feel he himself was enough. He needed success to feel he himself was worthy. Lesson 2 is we pick up a lot of our beliefs before we even realize we have. An example Vishen gives for his inability to hold on to the money was the connection in his mind that great teachers have to suffer, because he had a great teacher and everyone felt sorry for the situation this teacher was in. But it went deeper than this, as he was already primed to believe in scarcity by hearing his parents talking about their worries about money. Lesson 3 is, when you change your models of reality, your life can change rapidly, because once we accept a new way of thinking and start acting on this, everything around us responds to it. Law 5 of living an extraordinary life is to consistently spend time discovering, upgrading, and measuring new systems for living in all areas of your life. A system for living is how we do things day in and day out, which we have developed from our beliefs of what is important and what isn't. Using the earlier computer analogy, Think of this as the software that starts the computer and then allows you to do what you want to do. So it is timely to ask yourself, when did I last upgrade my system for living? How much of what I do is past its best-by date? What is holding me back from living an extraordinary life? Vishen recommends a 3-step process for effectively upgrading your systems for living. First, keep an eye open for suggestions that are made in all areas of life to see if you can adopt any of these or adapt for another area of your life. Second, adopt a system refresh rate. This is reviewing and adopting new habits where your old ones aren't giving you the return you're wanting or are no longer keeping you engaged. For example, you may choose once a year or have different periods for what you are monitoring. Third is to have set points and measure how you are tracking against these so you know if you're getting off track. An example Vishen gives is having a set point of which hole he uses for his belt. If this becomes tight, then he looks at his diet and exercise routines until his set point is comfortable again. Law 6 of living an extraordinary life is to divorce your happiness from your vision for the future and instead be happy in the now. To do this, Vishen recommends that you bend reality. This is being in a state of awareness that enables things to effortlessly happen. There are 2 parts to this. First, have a bold vision for the future that is pulling you forward. And second, enjoy today. Have fun while doing whatever it is you need to do to make your vision your reality. This is letting go of the past, leaving the future to itself, just dealing with today and having fun while doing it. Law 7 of living an extraordinary life is to understand that happiness comes from within. It begins with being happy in this moment and then using that as the fuel to drive your vision and intentions for yourself and the world. Blissapine is the word Vishen coined for the discipline of daily bliss. This is the reminder that happiness is under our control. We can reset our path and feel bliss. Vishen recommends 3 systems for living to move yourself into what he calls happiness from growth and awakening. The first of these systems is gratitude, which could be something like a review of your week and noting down 5 things you were thankful for. However, whatever you choose, the purpose is to break down any subconscious belief that I will be happy when X occurs, as well as breaking the habit of noticing and holding on to the negative. The second of these systems is forgiveness, because forgiving those you believe have wronged you allows you to raise your alpha brainwaves, which in turn improves your thinking, creative skills, and reduces your stress and anxiety. The third system is the practice of giving. This is because when we are actively recognizing things to be grateful for and letting go of our perceived wrongs, we find it easier to give to others, whether it is a smile, saying good morning, going the extra mile on a project, helping out without being asked, or something bigger. Law 8 of living an extraordinary life is to create an end goal vision for your future that is aligned to what your heart really wants, without compromise. Because having an end goal that makes your heart sing will make your daily decisions easier as you ask yourself which decision will take me closer to my end goal. It also gets your subconscious working to make it happen for you. To help you to identify if your end goal meets what you really want for yourself, Vishen has identified 3 questions to ask yourself. If time and money were no object and I did not have to seek anyone's permission, what kind of experiences does my soul crave? In order to have the experiences above, how do I have to grow? What sort of person do I need to evolve into? And if I have the experiences I've listed above and have grown in these remarkable ways, how can I give back to the world? Law 9 of living an extraordinary life is to be unfuckwithable. Vishen's phrase for letting go of the need to seek validation from others or through goal attainment. Instead, being truly at peace with yourself and the world around you because you are fueled by your own inner happiness and self-love. Vishen explains this is achieved through having end goals no one or anything can take away from you and filling in the holes inside you that allow you to be hurt by others. And Law 10 of living an extraordinary life is embrace your quest, the thing that is pulling you forward to contribute to improving things for the human race. Vishen divides these 10 laws into 4 levels. Level 1 is living in the culturescape, which is the beliefs, rules, ideas, and practices we are surrounded by and often have become blind to. Level 2 is the world you choose. This is where you accept rules aren't absolute, were made up by people no smarter than you, and that you can set your own limits. Level 3 is recoding yourself, which is the point you start changing the world inside of you to change the world outside of you. And level 4 is becoming extraordinary because you feel secure and confident in your own abilities and strengths, which in turn is changing the world around you because you feel a calling to influence the world in a positive way. Vishen positions this book as a personal disruption book, as it forces you to rethink aspects of your life that may have been running on autopilot for years. In the book, Vishen shares his journey to extraordinary as the founder of Mind Valley and how this book came into being. He also provides lots of stories, examples, and exercises to help you with identifying how each of the laws relates to you in your pathway to succeeding on your own terms. Further, he provides additional material to support your journey, including access to a website to liaise with others using this book. This is a very easy book to read, and I believe many people will find it a useful catalyst for stepping back and either starting their journey inside or to build on the work they have already done towards living an extraordinary life. Thank you for viewing this video. Please like and subscribe if you wish to be notified when further book overviews are uploaded.